studying your last two. I swim med tea when they turned in. The staring down to mute. And can learn the pole that sunk he died.
In Canada, one of the biggest tax advantages available to a Canadian-controlled private corporation, or CCPC, is the Small Business Deduction, commonly known as the SBD. This deduction allows eligible corporations to pay a lower corporate tax rate on the first $500,000 of active business income. The purpose of this tax incentive is to support small businesses, encourage them to reinvest in their operations, and improve their cash flow so they have more money available for growth. The concept is actually very simple. A corporation first earns active business income. The first $500,000 of that income qualifies for the small business deduction and is taxed at the lower small business tax rate. Once the corporation earns more than $500,000 of active business income, any additional income no longer qualifies for the deduction and is taxed at the general corporate tax rate. A helpful way to visualize this is to think of corporate income as being divided into two layers. The first layer consists of the first $500,000, which receives the lower small business tax rate. The second layer consists of any income above that threshold, which is taxed at the higher general corporate rate. This two-layer approach is the foundation of how the small business deduction works in Canada. As you continue learning corporate taxation, remember this one key rule. Only the first $500,000 of active business income qualifies for the small business deduction, while any income above that amount is taxed at the general corporate rate. This simple concept forms the basis for all future small business deduction calculations. Let's see how the small business deduction is actually calculated using a simple example. Suppose a Canadian-controlled private corporation has a taxable income of $615,000. The first step is to separate that income into two portions. The first $500,000 qualifies for the small business deduction. This portion is taxed at the lower small business tax rate. In this example, using a rate of 12.5%, the tax on the first $500,000 is $62,500. Next, calculate the remaining income. Since the corporation earns $615,000, the amount above the small business limit is $115,000. This portion does not qualify for the small business deduction and is taxed at the general corporate tax rate, using a rate of 26.5%. The tax on this portion is $30,475. The final step is simply to add the tax from both portions together. $62,500 plus $30,475 gives a total corporate tax payable of $92,975. A useful way to remember this calculation is to think of corporate taxable income as having two tax layers. The first layer consists of the first $500,000, which receives the lower small business tax rate. The second layer is everything above that limit, which is taxed at the higher general corporate rate. As a tax preparer, it is also important to perform a quick reasonability check. For taxable income of around $600,000, you would generally expect the total corporate tax to be somewhere around $90,000 to $95,000. If your tax software produces a result that is far outside this range, it is a signal to review your income figures, tax rates, and small business deduction calculation for possible errors. Once you understand this simple three-step process, calculate the tax on the small business portion, calculate the tax on the remaining income, and combine the two amounts, you have mastered the basic mechanics of the small business deduction calculation. Now that we've learned how the small business deduction is calculated, let's see where it fits into the overall T2 corporate tax return preparation process. Everything begins with the corporation's accounting records. The financial information is first reported on Schedule 125, which contains the corporation's income statement information. This provides the starting point for calculating taxable income. Next, the information flows into Schedule 1, where accounting income is adjusted to arrive at net income for tax purposes. These adjustments account for items that are treated differently for accounting and tax purposes. Once net income for tax purposes has been determined, the next step is to identify the corporation's active business income. This is important because only active business income is eligible for the small business deduction. After identifying the eligible income, the small business limit is applied. Under normal circumstances, this limit is $500,000. The corporation's income is then divided into two portions. The first portion, up to the small business limit, qualifies for the lower small business tax rate. Any remaining income is classified as the non-eligible portion and is taxed at the higher general corporate rate. The appropriate tax rates are then applied to each portion of income, and the taxes are combined to calculate the corporation's final tax payable. This final amount is ultimately reported on the T2 summary as the corporation's tax liability for the year. As a tax preparer, there are also several important points to keep in mind. The full $500,000 small business limit is not always available. If the corporation has associated corporations, the limit may need to be shared. High levels of passive investment income can also reduce the available business limit. In addition, when a business operates through multiple corporations, proper allocation and reporting become essential. Before finalizing a return, it is always a good practice to perform a reasonability check. Ask yourself whether the total tax looks reasonable for the corporation's income level, whether the income has been correctly classified as active business income, whether the small business deduction has been applied correctly, and whether the software's output makes sense. Finally, remember the fundamental rule that forms the foundation of the small business deduction. The first $500,000 of active business income is generally taxed at the lower small business rate, while income above that limit is taxed at the general corporate rate. Keeping this simple rule in mind will make it much easier to understand every advanced topic that follows in corporate taxation.